This is a brief overview of making piles in Noodle Tools. This is a very good approach to use to organize information. This a longer paper, a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 paragraph research paper, you may have 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 note cards. At that point, it will be essential that you have good organization. Absolutely essential. So while you might be able to get by without organization for this project, though again, might, we want you to be organized and we want you to use the tools that Noodle Tools provides to be organized. So here are the 4 questions that you need to answer for your research. So anytime you come across information as you're reading that might help you answer these 4 questions, that's a note card. You're making a note card in Noodle Tools. Now, to help you organize, Noodle Tools provides what are called piles, where you can put a bunch of different note cards into one big pile. But you have to label those. So, what did your subject risk or sacrifice in his or her fight for freedom? And it has to be 1, 2, or 3 words, very short. So for me, the one word for this pile is going to be sacrifice. So every note card that I write that has to do with answering this question is going to go into the sacrifice pile. For this question, what was the effects of his or her sacrifices? Effects of SAC is going to be the name of, you could call it something slightly different, but that's my abbreviation for this question. So every note card, 5, 6, 7, 10 different note cards are going to go into that one pile because they all have to do with the effects of his or her sacrifice. And the same for the last 2. My is how thought. Yours might be slightly different. And then finally, most important to answer this question. And again, yours may be worded slightly different, but it should probably be something similar. In addition to having 4 piles that specifically address the 4 questions you need to ask, you might also have 2 additional piles. One I'm calling background, just general background information. So it may not obviously fit into any one of these 4 questions, but you're not sure. Maybe you will be using it, maybe not. So this 5th pile is called background. And another one is called not sure. You're not certain if that information is going to be useful to help you answer any one of these 4 questions. But you're still early in the research process, so you're going to make a note card anyhow because it might be useful later. So here is my sample of Noodle Tools, and this is a pile. Sacrifice. Pile doesn't have any cards in it yet. Effects of sacrifice. This is a pile. How fought. Most important. General background. Not sure. So there's one note card in here already. I click on it. Expand. And there's the note card. This note card, let's just say you just made these piles. And you do that by going to Manage Pile, Create New Pile, and that's where I would have entered when I first did it, sacrifice. Submit. But of course it already exists, so it would not take it. But that's what I did. I went to Manage Pile, Create New Pile, and then whatever I want to make that pile called. And then if I already have a bunch of note cards already made, I can just grab and slide it in. Effects goes into there. Dad and mom, this is background information, so that's going to just go into there. His teenage experience, so it didn't directly answer one of the 4 questions, but I might be able to use it. I'm not sure, so I'm just going to drop it into background. Here's some additional information about the father. I'm not quite sure how it's going to be used. I might end up not using it, but I'm not sure, so I made a note card anyhow, just in case it'll be useful. Here's another one about the mother, some information about the mother. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use it, so I just put it in there. So these are 6 piles, and ultimately all of your note cards are going to end up in one of 6 piles. The not sures will either eventually end up getting moved from not sure into one of the other 5 or one of the other 4. Or it just stays in not sure because, as it turns out, you're not going to use it. Don't erase it, don't delete it, you did the work, so just keep it in the not sure pile. This organization will help you tremendously. Certainly for this project, and most certainly when you have longer research projects, a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 paragraph research paper. Having this type of organization is going to be key. So that is a brief overview of managing piles and recommendations of what you might want to call each of the piles. Thank you.